Look at us here. We're having technical difficulties. May I remind you, we also live at the beach, so I mean, there's a lot of times I'm like, am I gonna wash my hair? No, I'm not washing my hair. But so we got one mic today. Do I need to shower? No, I'm not showering. So today we made it, episode 4. We're going to continue on our discussion about our healing modalities, and today we are going to talk about. Melissa's got something to say over there. Today we're going to talk about meditation and breath work. So I'll just give my little scenario about meditation first, and then I'll pass the mic over to Melissa. But so for me, meditation, I still, at this point, after a whole year, am not the type of person who is going, oh, I'm going to sit in complete silence and meditate. I love to do a lot of stuff online, which again, I have my playlist, which you can go to about tons of different meditations. I love to run my chakra meditations a lot, light activation meditations. I mean, there's a lot that I do, but I usually just do them when I'm at home and I'm laying down and it's kind of like nap time, meditation time. I will do some obviously with Melissa. Melissa does meditations, and so there's a couple on her page and my page, and we're trying to do new ones every week. But other than that, there's just so much you can find about meditations where you could do mantra meditations. You sit there and repeat the same thing over and over again. Breath work, where you're just sitting there doing breath work and you're trying to quiet your mind. Again, it's not something to stress about, but it's just something to dive into and find out what works for you. And no, you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, I can't meditate. I need to, have zero thoughts in my brain while I'm trying to do this. And I think that's what people stress out about mainly is that. So passing it to you.
Yeah, I think I used to get stressed in the beginning, of like, I don't think I can sit there and clear my mind completely, and I can't. It's not the way I meditate. So I think the way I first started was binaural beats, which are all over YouTube, because I could put the earbuds in and then just listen to the sounds, and then I could focus in on the sounds, and then as you're listening to the tones, you can kind of find a certain beat inside of it, and so I'd be going in and out of the sounds, and then that way I wasn't really thinking. But I kind of evolved out of that. As I've said, meditation's different for me. Meditation's more like, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to whoever's there. Because when I'm in meditation, everyone's there and they're like, oh, she's open. So we're going to go in and talk now. But I really enjoy guided meditations. Or at least I did more in the beginning. And then my meditations became journeys on their own. So then I was like, single definition. We were just listening to human design class. And as a single definition, I like to do things my way. And so I started making up my own there and go on my own journeys. There's also another one I like. It's called I Awake Technologies that I learned about through Colette Baron Reed, actually. And that is an app that you can get in these meditations that take you through various brain states. Alpha, theta, gamma, delta, and it really is just ocean sounds, but there's these waves underneath. So it's literally waves and waves. Ocean waves and frequency waves, vibrational waves, and I enjoy those. But yeah, meditation is also like, for me, it's my walk, my daily walk on the beach. Sometimes it's music. I'm listening to music, whatever music you like. And that puts me in a certain place where I'm present. So, again, meditation to me is being present and in the moment. So it coincides with mindfulness. Where am I right now? What am I thinking about right now? Right now, I'm here with my sand, feet in the sand, the waves, the music, and that puts me in a more connected place. And that's what meditation is for me, a more connected place.
Back to me, Brandy. I mean, and that's true too. So I would say, every morning I'm on the beach, walk my dog, and that's a time for me where, again, it's we're grounding, earthing, as some people want to call it. But again, yeah, it's my time to, I think my meditation too sometimes is I'm just out there and I'm singing songs and I'm taking other songs and I'm just rewriting them in my head with whatever's going on in my day. And sometimes I'm just repeating that over and over again. There's just so many ways to dive into meditation and just take the time to figure out what works for you. And that's what kind of we're here just to start that discussion, is that all these things are here for us to learn what works for you. Like, human design. We're just big into human design right now. And if you don't know what it is, you could look it up. If you know your birth time, it's like finding out, you find out your whole chart, and it's very fascinating, again, figuring out who's around you. And that's another way to get through life a lot better, when you understand who's in your life and who are you surrounding yourself with, and understanding that she's different than me. And for me to show up as a friend for her is not going to be the same way I'm going to show up for somebody else, or the way we're going to interact with each other, or how she's going to bring out things in me or I'm going to bring out things in her, are just going to be different with different people, Melissa's a very rare bird. She's a projector. But she's just a lucky one. Oh my gosh. So back to, hold on. Too funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the second thing we're going to talk about today is breath work. So breath work, again, for me, I'll tell you my experience is, again, I am on YouTube. I am looking up all different kinds of breath work. One thing for me was like finding Wim Hof. A lot of people know who Wim Hof is. And I've done his stuff, and then again finding what worked for me, and a lot of times I just like to do simple breath work. I am doing what they call like the box breathing, which is 4 in, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, hold it for 4, or like what I do, my triangle breathing, which I breathe in through one nostril, out the other, in through that one, back out that one, and you just keep going back and forth. And those are the things that I can do while I'm walking my dog. Very simple. But again, with breath work, if you do Wim Hof breath work, it to me is like energizing. So some can energize you, some are going to relax you. And again, it's figuring out what do you need right at the moment. And really, because sometimes I need to be relaxed, and sometimes I need to wake up. Sometimes if you're having anxiety, like figure out again what works. But again, I have lots of things on my playlist to help you get started. I've got hours and hours and hours, but what does Melissa have to say?
Well, the funny thing is, it's all individual, right?
Yeah.
So I don't usually use breath work. Breath work isn't something that I've been called to. Except as a projector, I make up my own. So there are some things that I do with breath that were given to me by spirit. So for me, the thing that has worked the most with breath work is I was shown by spirit to like completely push all my breath out and then take the absolute longest breath in that I could. And in that, I imagined that I was breathing in this, like the quantum field. So I was breathing in this black light, or the black nothing. It was the black quantum field. And then breathing it out. But when I reached that state, I could hold it, the highest point of my breath, I could hold it and then slowly push it out. And that was a way of connecting. And then they showed me recently this breath work, but it's with the sun. So it's the same thing. I'm taking in the breath, but I'm imagining the sun coming in through the third eye, and it's that same long breath all the way to the top. It's like I'm the top of the pyramid. And then when I push the breath out, it's like pushing the light down through my body. So it's breath work in addition to this sort of practice or meditation that was given to me. So I haven't done the Wim Hof. I haven't done those other things. I may have dabbled at one point, but just didn't find that they were for me.
Right.
So that's, again, where your own discernment comes in and finding the things that work for you versus, and I'm, like you said, odd and weird, and I make up my own stuff.
But, hold on, but it goes back to finding what works for you. And to talk about like her sun meditation, we do have that on our channels, right? I am Trip for Healing, and she is Light Girl Rising. But again, we're just here to spark conversation. Let's talk about it. Leave some comments below. What are the things you want to know about? As we get through the process of just talking about our modalities, some episodes maybe go deeper into certain things. I think today it's been a weird week here at the beach for us.
We need to meditate.
Yeah, we just need to calm our butts down right now. It's too funny. But yeah, we're just here to start the conversation, as I keep saying, with my little mic here. Let's hope it's still working. Exactly. Oh man. Oh, laughter is always good for you. Anything else you'd like to say before we close up?
I just want to say too, these are just overviews, like, so these different things exist, and then you can dabble and experiment and go, oh, that sounds interesting. I have some friends that are experimenting with breath work right now, and they're in a whole program with it, and they're loving it. And some people that are just starting meditation, some people use cooking dinner as meditation. Like, it's just so individual. It's so uniquely you. And I think that's what I was trying to say. It's like, I make up what works for me. I don't have to always look outside. Like, I'm going to get the idea that breath work's a thing. Maybe I make up my own breath. Like, you are powerful too. You are, you know what's best for you. So to see all of these different possibilities and all these different modalities, and dive in and try, and then find what works for you, and then modify it if you want to, because there is no right or wrong. It's just what works for you.
I would have to say that I love what she just said, because I won a cooking show, by the way, with Emerald Lagasse once. Have to put that clip somewhere. But for me, cooking is my meditation. And one of the things also through learning in human design is also when I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, that is my meditation time. I could spend 2 hours just cooking for myself, which I do all the time. But I love that. I'm in the zone, and it's like, don't interrupt me while I'm in the zone either, because that's where I'm at. And then if someone comes in and is like, can I help you? And then you're like, no. Well, it was just because you interrupted my flow. And it is because I'm kind of in my own little meditation, which is, yeah, exactly.
You reminded me too of, like, maybe it's knitting.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or art. It's something that you do that quiets your mind and gets you focused on what you're doing, and you're not in all these other spaces and other stories that you create during the day. It's like, this is my focused, my space, my quiet space.
Well, I think that was good for the day. We made episode 4. Next week, episode 5, we're going to be into October, I think. So we're going to start doing some different stuff. Maybe talk about more spooky things. Talk about, cutting cords, extraterrestrials, lots of mediumship.
Mediumship, ETs, like experiences with dark, because dark exists out there, especially here, and what ghosts are. I've got some little kids I've been tutoring that are all about the ghosts. Also, maybe talk about walk-ins, so like all these different, psychic abilities, all these different things. Bending forks with your mind. Who knows?
All right. Okay, well, my YouTube is Trip, and that's a 4 Healing, and I'm Brandy.
And I'm Melissa at Light Girl Rising.